Hello everyone, welcome back. It is Angela and you are here at Angela Co Designs. How are you all doing today on this lovely Sunday? It is a beautiful day. It's nice and early, still warm, but I thought I would get in here early and put together this little video tutorial for you. So I've gathered my little goodies here. Got my signature. I'm using this one today. I've marked my spot on my tea stain page, so it's not the first tea stain page, it's the second one. All right, so opposite that one there, we're going to use that today. So I've just earmarked that. I'm going to put that to the side, and then a couple of goodies that you need. I'm using my gateway template from my template to template set, so you know I use these a lot, and they're worth the investments. Really cheap actually, but I've just stuck mine onto some old card, and there we go. So I've got that. I'm going to use that today. I've got some pages here, so I've got this sort of lilac-y one from my background pages for the spring journal background pages kit. All right, I am going to use one of these pages, which are the altered book pages. I'm going to use that in my project today. If you've bought, if you remember my last video where I have put together a printed version of this, so if you've missed that, go and have a look in the links below, or in my Facebook group I put all the links as well. This is the printed kit, and there's also digital. I've got 8 double printed pages, so you've got 4 for your journal, and you've got 4 extras, so you can use one of those. And then I decided, because I put together the printed florals and butterflies kit, I added this to that. This is also available as a digital. It's an old one of mine, but it works so well with the colors that we are going to use for the secret garden. So I have used this kit. However, I printed it 4 to a page, that particular one, so that I've got a bigger one. I've just backed it onto one of the lace pages. So we're going to use that. I'll show you what I'm going to do with it. So that's what I'm going to do as far as paper is concerned. All right, so I can just put that a little bit to the side over here. And then on my little plates, I have got my ephemera bits. So I've taken these little ones. I think these are in my ephemera kit for my large journal, but also in my mini journal. I've got a couple of those. This is from my mini journal. I love that, and I think I'm going to make a kit with more of these. This is a tag from my add-on kit, and as I said, so this is all from that Secret Garden journal collection. I don't know why I keep wanting to say spring, but it's Secret Garden. It must be all the S's. Right, I am using from my crinkle bundle, and I will be putting more of these into my shop later on in the week, because they're sold out. I am going to use the lovely mauvey one, I think. Mauve? Lavender? Somewhere there. Alright, this purpley shade. And then I've got a piece of lace. This comes from my lace bundle. I'm going to use that. I've grabbed 2 of these, and I do love using these, but I've got a perfect use for them today. They come from my mini journal. Alright, just little clusters that I put together in there. And then I've got 2 of these little daisies that come from the lace bundle. I've got 2 large eyelets I'm going to use, and then I've taken one of these from my add-on kit. It's just I wanted to mention something about that. I've sewn a button on there. I'll get to that when we get to that. All right, so that's what you need. Other than that, I've got my Victorian Velvet and Bundled Sage. I'm going to use those to do a little bit of stenciling in the top corners. I've got a stencil, so grab a stencil and we're good to go. All right, so let's move some of this stuff out of the way. Okay, I think I'm going to start with the stenciling, so then we have got that out of the way. So this is the side of the page we're working on, and I'm going to just put that there, and we'll move our little papers out the way. Yeah, that's the right way. What am I like? So I'm just putting it over the top here, and I'm going to use 2 different colors, I think. I've got a bigger brush that I use the green for. because I like using the green. So I've got one for the green and one for the purple, but the velvet, but you know, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to put a little bit of the green on the top, just this top corner really, just to brighten it up a little bit. Yeah. And then I'm going to take the velvet and I'm going to do the other corner like that. And hopefully they intermingle. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Happy with that. Simple. Okay, right, so we've got that ready to go now. We can put this to the side until a little later, so I'll just move that back there. We are now going to take that spotted paper. All right, so we're going to take this, whichever paper you're using, it doesn't matter. You don't have to use what I'm doing. You might be doing a completely different theme, but the principle and the tutorial would make a lovely addition to your journal pages, so bear that in mind. Right, I've got my glue stick here. This is a reprint, so yes, I'm sticking this over, but don't worry, it's not one that it's one that I had over. I want to stick this whole thing together. All right, so take your glue stick, any glue will do actually, doesn't really matter. And the first thing I'm going to do is just meet up the corners on the other side like that. Doesn't have to be precise, but close enough will be good. Right, so that's what we've got now. So now we've got a double-sided sheet here. So this is the easiest way to ensure that when you use your template, it's going to be perfect on both sides and match up perfectly. All right, so that's my suggestion, tip of the day. Right, now it comes to the point where you want to add your template on here. So you want to just make sure that you get it pretty straight or straight enough. And now you can go and draw with your pencil, whatever you like to use. Oh, I moved it a bit. Like that. I'm not going to cut it out on screen, you'll be glad to know I've done it already, but I just wanted to show you how I do this. All right, so you've got that all done now, and then what you want to do as well is just mark. I'm doing it off the edge here at the minute, but I'm going to line it up. So there we go, we've got our marks, and then it's just a case of matching those up. Now I'm using my pencil, so you can rub these out, or alternatively take your bone folder and just bone fold it right there. So this one as well. Okay, now I will say that when I bring this to the middle, I just it's just my inaccuracy, and sometimes it's just the way I work, but I would also find the middle of this piece as well. All right, so only because it just gives me a guide. So you've got 4 inches in the middle here, and that's your center mark. Bear that in mind, so that when you fold this bit over to there, meet it with the line there and that one there. All right, just help you. Okay, I have cut that out, you'll be glad to know, so I'm going to move that out the way, and I have cut that out. There we go, there's my center line there. I drew it with pencil, so I'm just getting my eraser, and now we can take that off. You're not going to even see it anyway, you'll see why, so you don't even need to rub it out. Okay, I've inked that and I've cut it out, and you can see that it is perfectly matched on every front, and it's nice and sturdy, and we have no worries. So that's how I do a double-sided thing. If you cut out each one of these and stick them together, you sit with half an hour of stress. So I'm trying to help you avoid that. All right, so we've got this ready, and I've folded it in place. I've matched it with that center line. There we go. We're good to go. All right. Now what I want to do is I want to take one of these. Okay, now I've cut mine out already. I'm trying to think. Oh, I used the one with the arches in the door. Okay. I think this is a different one, but what I did here was first of all, you want to just cut off that white bit. Okay, so let's do that quickly. Now, because I'm going to turn this up, I want to make sure that this writing, this thing is not, this page is not that way around. It needs to be that way around, so that when I turn it up, I've got the writing the correct way. Okay, it doesn't really matter because I'm going to cut it off anyway, but that's how I started. All right, now just decide which you prefer. Do you want that, or yeah, they're pretty much the same on this one, but I'm not using this particular piece. This is just to show you how I did it. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to fold this up. Now I think, what did I say, this piece I folded it just about 2 1/4 inches up, 2 1/4. So let's measure 2 1/4. It's about there. You don't need to be precise at this point. I'm just using this as a guide, and then you can go like that. All right. Now what I did at this point was I did cut this off, just because I want the writing on the other side to be the correct way. But if you're not worried with that, then you don't need to do this step. All right. Right, so we've got that. That's going to be the front, and then you're now able to turn this the right way like that, and then what we want to do is, I like that sort of bit in the background, so I'm going to fit it into my edge there. Remember, you want to have space to fold that over, and then you want to just make a mark over here. So this is probably easier for you to measure, so I think it's 4 inches. And I'm going to make it slightly less. I want to just check that before I give you the wrong thing. Yeah, it's 4 inches. All right, so we are going to measure 4 inches. I'm going to use my board over here. So let's do that. And you want your 4 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 and 4 is 12. Now hang on to these bits, because I found them really handy for cutting out these little circles, which I put one onto my larger tag. I'm going to make use of these pieces, so don't throw those away. All right, so that's what we have here now. We've got this bit and we've got this bit, and they at least are all in the same position. All right, so that's great. And it doesn't matter which page you use. I think I'm going to fold it in half, just not sure that the reverse is perfect, because this was a one I wasn't going to keep. Okay, so I've got the actual middle there, and I'm going to do the same with this piece. Now what we want to do is you want to run glue. So run your glue down the edge here like that, and here, and then the same here. This is just our pocket section. So we're now able to remember that that's the middle. So we've got it in place, and we can now just press our paper in place. Right. All right, so you've got that already. So just take your bone folder and give it a nice burnish there. Right. Now I think I went slightly over here, so I'm going to have to trim it off. All right, so that's what you want to do. I'm going to do that with the other one and I'll be right back. Okay, so there we have it. I've inked around it. This is my original one with the lovely bits here, and I wanted it because I'm bringing out the mauves and the purples in this one, so that's what I've gone with there, although I'm not going to see a large part of that. All right, so what I mentioned earlier is you can see that we've got this faint center line here, and what I want you to do now is to bring this end flap over to the middle like that, and run that up like that, and do the same, meet it on the other side like that, and then just burnish that in place. All right, so that you've got it closing like this. All right. So there we have that bit. Now while it's easy to do, I'm going to just take my two little florals. I'm going to stick these on. They're not handles or little thingies, but I just like, they look like little places to open these flaps. So that was the cute bit. I just like them. So I'm going to put this one here, hoping that's sort of central. Now you're not going to see it until you open it, but you'll see what I mean when it's all together. Really hot today again. Right, grip that there. Let's see where we are, and we'll get it there. There we go. Alright, so I've just put those on as little decorative pieces, and because we've used an altered page, we've got all this decorative bit there ready, and I'm very happy with it as that is. Right, what I want to do now is, we've got our little piece that should fit in the middle here now. Yeah, there or thereabouts. And we're going to stick that down. So I'm going to just turn it over. This is why I say if you've drawn a line or anything there, you won't need to worry because you're not going to see. And I'm going to just stick that in there. Now I did a very similar project to this in my Wildflower Wishes journal. Similar. Gosh, over a year ago now. Doesn't time fly? Oh, I do want to say, I keep wanting to say something about the YouTube comments. Let me just stick this down. Right, so open it up and just use your bone folder. Make sure it's nice and attached. There we go. We've got that going on there. I did want to say, guys, I hope that you don't think that I'm crazy. YouTube have changed the way having us all use the @ and your name that you chose on the comments. And it took me about, well, how long have I been doing this now? Nearly 4 years. I will say it took me 4 years to learn each and every person. That's quite a few thousand of you. And now that they've got an @ and people are using a different name often, please excuse me when I ask you if you are who you are, because it's thrown my 4 years of learning those by memory out the window. So I was blown away over these past couple of weeks thinking, who's this person now? Because sometimes the photo, I don't always look at the photo, and people change their photos, of course, but I've always looked at your username, and now that's different in many cases, and I don't know who I'm talking to. So I haven't gone mad. I haven't lost the plot or losing my memory or anything. It's now a different name, and I'm trying to work out who you all are. So yes, it's just one of those things, isn't it? Right, so what have we got here now? We've got little pockets, and you can go and stick this down. I don't know if I want to. Let's see, do I? Well, I can actually reach because it's not too deep, so I'm going to do it actually, because I'm going to make separate ones. So I'm just running the glue up on these little fold lines here, so that I've got separate pockets, so that's good. And while that is drying, we are going to just put in two little big eyelets. These come from We Are Memory Keepers, and I've had these ones for ages because I don't generally go and use the darker shades, but because I'm going to use this, I thought it sort of all went together pretty well. All right, so I am going to just mark where this needs to go. So this is just me lining up here, putting this on. That's why this board is an absolute godsend, honestly. It's great. You don't have to look at numbers, but you just need to look at the pictures on the grid. So that's good for me. Turn it upside down, and then you can see where you need to punch that hole. All right. With this, it's now easy because you can just line it up, or just place it upside down here so that you've got it right. And I've just used the extended lead in my pencil here, which is pretty much all right. All right, now it's double-sided paper, so it should be a bit better. I'm going to use my crocodile. So I've just ordered myself another one of these. That'll be my third one. I must say I do use it a lot, so to be fair, I find that these bits don't last long. If ever you find a better version of that, then go for it, because I do find it very frustrating. But the good news is the new one is rose gold and pink, so they're every cloud. Oh my gosh, yeah, I've been struggling with this one for so long. It's just ridiculous. So I'm biting the bullet, and they had an offer on Amazon through Craftelier, and I'm going to get 180 eyelets with it on a reduced price. So I will put the link, I'll put that in my Amazon favorites if you're keen and wanting eyelets and things. I'm looking to see. Right, so we've got that there like that, so I'm happy with that. A lot of talking going on here today, isn't there? Right, I'm going to grab, I've got a loose piece here of this, and I was just trying it out earlier. This is the seam binding, which is what I'm going to use this for. I'm going to thread it through there, thread it through there. I'm not going to tie it because I haven't put my goodies inside yet, but just getting it ready. All right, so let's just see how much we need first. All right, and then we can just chomp that off, and that off. That was a bit of a messy piece, and that can go back into your little lovely little pouch to keep them all in. Right, so there we go. That is what's going to go in there. All right, and while I've got it closed, I want to just stick on the next little bits quickly. So sorry for that. This is where these come in. I'm going to stick one over there. How cute is that? It's just perfect for this. Bring a little bit of cream on the flower and a little bit of this lovely mauve shade. So I do like these sort of clustery flower bits, and I put them in all my mini journals. So yeah, there we go. So that one's going to go there, and this one's going to go the other way. Oh, I had the best time putting this together last night, thinking about what to do, and I kept adding and adding and adding. You know, I like to add add things together. There we go. Oh, isn't that so pretty? It looks really vintage. I like it. Okay, and while it's all tied down, this little bit of lace I want to stick onto the bottom here. So that is, when you do this, make sure that this is upright and so that your pocket's at the bottom. You know, my 3-in-1 beacon. I was struggling with the other one. I've actually ordered a new glue, a completely new type of glue, and when that arrives, I'll share it with you and let you know what I think about it first. So yeah, I get frustrated with the art glitter glue sometimes. It gets a lot of bits stuck in the what do you call it, the little nibs, like these grainy bits, and I don't like that. It frustrates me. Right, I just want to stick this onto the bottom here. So there we go. I'm just going to use that little edge as a guide. Can't go wrong with Fabri-Tac, but it is strong smelling, so right, we'll let that dry. Just want to cut that off. Oh, it's looking very, very vintagey, which I like. I think I'm just going to leave it drying that way so it doesn't dry to the mat. Okay, other little bits I wanted to share with you while that's doing its thing. I wanted to just chat you through. I was cut out these cards which came from the what did I call this, botanical journal card sheet, and as you can see, this is this one here. I do have a sheet with 4 and 4 in the printed kit, but obviously the digitals, you are able to do that yourself. So there we go. I have cut them out. I'm going to use them, and I wanted to add this into this project, so I've just backed it onto lace paper. Yeah, and I just wanted to say I wanted to add a button on. Now, for those who are probably beginners, if you've done this before, you know, if you like to sew around your journal cards, which I do, you can't stick that on first, because you won't get the foot of the machine over there. So I just wanted to mention I closed this. I've also put a little patch on the back to cover my sewing, but you could actually stitch it on before you glue the two down. So for example, sew your button on there and then close it down. All right, so that was me and a learning curves that I'm imparting with you. So or not stitch a button, but I like my buttons stitched, so I'm just going to put on some glue, and now I'm going to stick this on at the top here. I just wanted something different to as a little embellishment on there, so there we go. All right, with these I've just added a little piece of lace on there. Those are so cute, and then I've added the two little flowers on the lily one, and then this one, Beauty, I've just, because these have got to go inside, I'm trying to keep this as flat as possible, so I've taken a little scrap of fabric, so something like this. It is this one. I've just folded it in half and stitch that across there. All right, I do glue it in place lower down before I stitch it across. Right, so we've got our three little bits to go inside, which we'll do shortly, and then I've got the big tag which is going to go in the back. I've added this beautiful ribbon, I love this, and just picking up these colors over here really. All right, so we're good to go. Now let's put that to the side. I'm going to grab that page again. All right, so that's it there, and I want to stick this down. Now the lace is telling me which way to go, luckily, because I almost did it the wrong way. Now you want to get that sort of there. Now it doesn't matter if your lace peeks out a little bit, that's quite sweet, but why I'm saying that is you are putting a large tag into the back there, so just be mindful of how far that needs to go down, so like there. All right, so yeah, I might just have a little bit of that lace peeking over, I think. So my usual trick, I'm going to just line that up, because when the glue is on, you've got to be fast. I'm going to draw a little line there and a little line there, and you won't see them, but it just gives me that confidence to go for it. Right, I'm going to take this fabric tack, any glue is fine, just because it's going to give me a second or more so I can get my lines right. So I'm going to just start over here, and we're making a pocket effectively. We're going across here, so I'm going on the top of this lace as well as below, just in case it's not going to. Right, so we've got that there. Now use those lines, hold your lace up and get it there and there. Right, now turn it around, should be all right. Okay, now you won't see the lines, but you've got this nice and straight. There we go, we can just press that down. This is why I like using loose pages, because you can use as much pressure, get things all ready, and not be limited by it being sewn into your signature, but it is a personal choice. Right, so there we go. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to fill up the middle now, so just open that up. Listen to the birds in the trees. They're saying, where's my breakfast? You've had yours. Well, I haven't actually. Mr. Bird. They're all looking at me across in the tree there. Right, so we've got that there. Let's just take that out of that side so long. Let's open up the doors. Lots of doors. Right, that's going to go in the back in a sec. These three are going to go into this. So I'm going to take little Lily and put her in that little pocket over there. Right, and then I'm going to take little Fuchsia and put her over there. And these are perfect for this, she says. And if it's not, you take your bone folder and just ease it a little bit, and then it can go in here. All right, now come on, play ball. What are you catching on? Let's turn it around. You see, these things can happen to all of us. Right, and you get, go. Okay. Right, now I'm too scared to do that, but I will have to just touch up on that corner over there. It'll dry properly. I'll open it up in a minute. Right, and then this little one, I just did one for the middle here. I'm putting that in there, but you can see it's this little fabric bit. I'm able just to fold that down if you want to, if it's going to get in the way. Yeah, that's all I'm putting in there. You can put more than that. You can put the smaller version, you know, these you can add, the shorter ones would fit in there as well. All right, so that's all I'm putting in there. I'm going to close it up. I just love those there. Okay, and then we're going to thread our seam binding through the little eyelet. If you don't have eyelets, just use ring reinforcers. You know, that would work as well. There we go. Right. And then we're going to just add these in here. So I'm going to put that one over there. And I'm going to put that one on this side. And there's our little page for the day. Right, so that can open up. How lovely is that? It looks quite different from the one I did before. So that's a good thing. We can always take the same sort of idea and add to it. So that's our little Sunday project, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun. And you could make another one for the other signature. Somebody asked me that yesterday, and I might do, you never know, because I quite like how it's turned out. But today that's what we're doing, and I think that just finishes it off and looks so pretty with these on. All right, everyone, go and have a lovely relaxing Sunday. That's what I'm going to do. I need to mow the lawn and feed the birds. That's on the agenda. And don't forget, please put your name in your first name in the comments until I don't want it to take me another 4 years to get to know who you are. So I'll get my head around that one soon, but just in case, I'd appreciate that. And stay well, and thank you so much for all your amazing support and encouragement. You do make me smile, you do. All right, everyone, see you on Tuesday. Stay well now. Bye.